Brothers and sisters of the highway, America's last cowboys, lean in, because tonight, while we're fighting on every front, non-domiciled CDLs, shady truck schools, predatory leases, broker transparency, labor dumping, we're going to tear the mask off one more lie. One more lie they've been feeding this country for 90 damn years. 90 years. And it's a lie that keeps every trucker broke, exhausted, invisible, and stolen from. The lie says truckers don't deserve to be paid like everybody else. Tonight, we're going to burn that lie to the goddamn ground. Number one, the 14-hour clock is not the problem. Hello, FMCSA. Hello. Hello, everybody. The problem is a government that treats trucker time as free. Let me say it plain so even Washington, D.C., the bureaucrats can understand it. You cannot solve a pay problem with a safety clock. The industry's been screaming this for years, and the FMCSA keeps fiddling with it, keeps fiddling with the hours of service like it's a master key to fairness. Let's add a split sleeper. Let's move the short haul radius. Let's tweak the 30 minutes. Stop. Stop. The 14-hour clock is only painful because every minute of that clock is unpaid. If truckers were paid for every minute at a dock, every minute crawling through traffic, every minute waiting on a damn lumper, every minute shippers waste with broken appointments, every minute brokers leave guys like you and me in the wind, the 14-hour clock wouldn't hurt at all. But Washington can't admit, they just can't get it through their head. They can't admit it. Because if they admit that, then they have to confront the truth. And the truth is what we seek here at Highway Fever. The freight economy runs on stolen driver time. I don't care what any you say, I don't care what anybody says, it runs on stolen time. Why doesn't the FMCSA fix it? Because legally they can't. And they like it that way. FMCSA is a one-trick pony. They only control safety. They only control hours. They do not, by law, control pay. Guess who pay is regulated by? Guess quick. Pay is regulated by the Department of Labor. And trucker overtime is regulated by, guess. Congress. The robber baron bastards on Capitol Hill. Because Congress carved truckers out under the motor carrier exemption in the Fair Labor Standards Act. Meaning, the FMCSA can talk about driver fatigue until the damn sun burns out, but they can't fix the root cause. The industry doesn't have to pay you for overtime. FMCSA knows this, Department of Labor knows this, and Congress knows this. Guess who else knows? Shippers know this. Brokers really know this. Big carriers built their entire business model around that. And everyone plays dumb. Everybody. Why won't the Department of Labor and Congress repeal the overtime exemption? It's a great question, right? Here we go. Because the moment they do, the free ride ends. Let me tell you why every powerful lobby in Washington, the ATA, the big box stores, the Chamber of Commerce, the warehouse, the major brokers, all quietly whisper the same thing on Capitol Hill. Whatever you do, don't pay truckers overtime. Because if truck drivers get paid overtime like normal American workers, this is what happens. Dock delays suddenly cost real money. Carriers will pay time and a half for detention. Carriers will pass that cost straight to the shippers. Shippers will scream and fix their damn operations. Brokers lose the driver buffer. Right now, drivers absorb all inefficiency for free. We absorb all the cost for free. Overtime exposes their markups, their waste, their scheduling failures. Freight rates go up to an honest number instead of a fantasy. Truckers finally get paid for labor, not just the motion. Washington does not want that. Corporations do not want that. Lobbyists really don't want that. But truckers need it to survive, to have any quality of life. The real reason they refuse to pay truckers is simple. Because you are the one group that has been too damn quiet. Every industry in the United States charges for its time. Mechanics do, electricians do, plumbers do, lawyers sure the hell do, doctors do. Hell, even your local tow truck charges hourly. But truckers, the people hauling the nation's lifeline, you know, the ones on the road for 70 hours a week, the ones missing birthdays, funerals, first steps, graduations, anniversaries, special moments. Truckers are the only workforce expected to provide unlimited free labor. Why? Why? Because Washington thinks you won't fight back. Because drivers are too divided. Because the industry spent decades convincing you to fight each other instead of fighting for your time. Because they know you'll yell on Facebook, but won't pick up the phone. You won't pick up the phone and melt Congress's switchboards. You won't do it. They think you're tired, beaten down, too busy trying to survive to organize anything. And that's exactly why they exploit you. We're going to fix that tonight. I hope you absorb what I'm laying down. Bob Murphy has said this. Listen closely. This is my mantra to you all. DC doesn't fear truckers, but they do fear what the trucker could become. There's a reason they work so hard to keep you tired, broken, silent. Because if the American truck driver ever stands up and speaks with one voice, no strikes, no shutdowns, no drama, none of that, just sheer political force, then the trucking industry becomes the largest voting bloc in the country. Bigger than farmers, bigger than teachers, bigger than unions, bigger than the energy sector, bigger than Silicon Valley. Imagine 2 million CDL holders and 8 million trucking adjacent workers calling Congress demanding overtime pay. Not politely, not timidly, not apologizing for asking to be paid for their labor, but demanding it like the citizens who keep this nation moving. The entire Capitol would shake. I promise you. Let's call it what it is. Wage theft wrapped in a regulation. They call it detention. They call it industry standard. They call it just part of the job. Nope, no, nada, no, no, no. It's unpaid labor. It is theft through loopholes. It is using a safety agency as a shield to avoid wage laws. And it has cost families their homes, their marriages, their savings, their futures. I've watched it for 30 years. Truckers and the trucking industry lose billions every year in unpaid time. Meanwhile, the same people telling you there's no money to pay overtime are the same ones posting billion-dollar quarterly profits. Again, billion-dollar quarterly profits, telling you there's no money. Tell me again who's broke? Tell me again. I'm throwing down the gauntlet on this issue. Highway fever is putting Washington, D.C. on notice. Repeal the motor carrier overtime exemption, the FLSA, Fair Labor Standards Agreement. Pay truckers for all on-duty time. Hold shippers accountable for detention. Stop using the FMCSA as your excuse. We're not dumb anymore. We kind of wised up. We know what's going on. We've researched. We understand the law. If you want safe highways, pay drivers. If you want retention carriers, pay drivers. If you want professionalism, pay drivers. If you want less turnover carriers, fewer crashes, healthier families, stable supply chains, pay the damn driver. Fire up the phones, guys. Drivers, if you're listening from your sleeper cab tonight, if you're eating a lonely meal at a truck stop in Nebraska, if you're rolling down I-40 watching the sunset over the desert, hear me. Nothing changes until you speak. We don't need a shutdown. We don't need to block a highway. We don't need to starve the country. We don't need to do any of that. We need your voice. Call your member of Congress. Call the Senate. Call the House. Call the Labor Committee. Call the Transportation Committee. Tell them. End the overtime exemption. Pay us for the work we do and stop treating our lives like free inventory space for your inefficiency. Truckers built this nation. Truckers run this nation. Truckers keep this nation alive. And now, truckers will be heard